Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the second episode for The Walking Dead Season 9. In this one, we'll do a Q&A first. Let's give our thoughts on The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 5, being the defining episode, or the major episode I think we're all kind of waiting to see. And spoiler warning if you guys have not seen the premiere yet for The Walking Dead Season 9. So going through the comments, and, most people are happy with the premiere from what I've seen, but there are some people that were saying, kind of boring, or was expecting more to happen, this kind of thing. But the thing is, you guys got to keep in mind, you guys got to remember, it's just the start. It's just the first episode. The big episode, I think, for this half is going to be Episode 5. I think it's going to be Episode 5. We have some news about that here that we'll get into about three characters that are going to be returning that's been confirmed by showrunner Angela Kang to be coming back for this half season. And most likely, Episode 5 is going to be that one because here's the thing. Here's how we know this. And this isn't spoilers. This is from interviews. So Greg Nicotero did an interview where he confirmed that he has directed Andrew Lincoln's final episode of The Walking Dead. And he directed the premiere, which wasn't it, obviously, but he also directed Episode 5. So the fact that we know that Greg Nicotero is directing Andrew Lincoln's final episode of The Walking Dead, and he's directing Episode 5, and he's not directing any other episodes from this half, aside from the one we've already seen, that means that Episode 5 is most likely going to be Andrew Lincoln's final episode, Rick's final episode in the entire series, which is going to be absolutely crazy. It's called What Comes After, and I mean, that's the one that we're looking for, and it's written by, get this, Matthew Negrete and Scott Gimple. He's back. It's awesome, right? I love it. He's the villain of The Walking Dead, right? He directed Episode 5, so that's got to be it, right? If it's written by Gimple, so yeah. Now he can still, even though he's not showrunning, he can still take all the heat for everything people don't like about the series, right? We're not going to give any of it to Angela. It's going to all be on him because he got to write the final episode for Rick with Matt. It sounds like. So yeah, man, for people that are looking forward to the season and wanting to see some big stuff happen and are saying it's boring so far, I guarantee you by the time Episode 5 rolls around, which is, we have 3 episodes remaining here. So we have 2, 3, and 4. And the very next weekend is going to be the defining episode of the series. Maybe I'm going to say the crushing episode for the series, but it should be the biggest episode of The Walking Dead in terms of what happens. Maybe not in terms of like viewership or in terms of hype or anything like that, but in terms of like, they have never done anything like that. They took some big risks by killing Carl last season, and we know how the fans responded to that. They've had some huge character deaths all throughout the series, back dating to Shane and some of these earlier deaths from the beginning of the series, killing off A-listers, showing that nobody is safe. But now we're getting to the point where it's like really nobody is safe because, Episode 5 is going to be crazy. So here's the 3 that are returning that they've confirmed. Jon Bernthal, which we already knew, so that's a cool one, of course. And he'll probably be in Episode 5, but I don't know for sure. But I'm just assuming like he's coming back. It's Rick's final episode. It's directed by Greg Nicotero. It's probably going to be Episode 5. Then we have Sasha is going to be returning as well, too, Sonequa Martin Green, who I'm really happy to hear that because I know she's killing it on Star Trek Discovery, right? She's a lead in that, and so I haven't seen it personally because I'm not a big Trekkie, but I have friends who watch the series and say that she's awesome in that as well, too. So that's great. So she's coming back as well, too, for a scene there. And then the biggest one, and I don't say this no disrespect to the first 2 here, but considering what's happened recently IRL, in real life, Scott Wilson is going to be returning, it sounds like, to reprise his role as Hershel for, of course, the last time, considering that the actor is, has passed away, has moved on. So yeah, man, I mean, so that's sad, and I don't want to kill, I don't want to kill any of the hype here, right, with that. I mean, obviously, to even mention it makes us all sad, right? But if, I don't want to say it, see, this is the thing, I don't want to, I mean, okay, so we have to be respectful to him for his work, and obviously this is his, final work of his life and his career, and I guess as a fan, just obviously it's a horrible loss and everything like that for his family, all that stuff, very sad. But in terms of his work, to get to see the final scene of The Walking Dead for him in his life, I'm not going to say creatively it adds to it, because that doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel right to say that. But it's just wrong to even think like that, right? But what I will say is this: is that to get to see those three come back is going to be really cool. And of course, what they do with Rick's final episode here, and would they have them come back if it wasn't a death scene? I don't think so. And then what is that going to mean for the series, and how does that affect The Walking Dead going forward, if there even is really a Walking Dead after that fans are even interested in seeing at that point? So, long story short, just be patient, guys. We've got a few episodes left. The date is November 4th. So, a few weeks left here, and we're getting pretty close to that episode of what will certainly be the biggest episode of the season, and one of the biggest episodes of the entire series. Let's just see how this thing goes down, man. Let's just see what happens. So, bide your time. Don't worry too much about the premiere. It's just like a regular episode type of deal, and really the big one is episode 5. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think about that one. Jakoob Shmeedurmahn said, "Glad we got a Redshirt death in the premiere, which was Ken, right? Which actually made an impact. I'm so used to their deaths not mattering whatsoever, and that's true. In this one, they had the death of Ken, a new character in the premiere, Tammy and Earl's son, right? So that was in there, but." Instead of it just being a random Redshirt death, like a lot of what we saw in All Out War, of course, in this case, it actually was a character death that drove the story afterwards, so that because that happened to him and his parents' response to that, and Gregory manipulating with that afterwards, it really drove the rivalry and drove the plot, the ramifications of it between Maggie and Gregory with Tammy and Earl in there as well too. So it was actually kind of a Redshirt death, but it actually meant a lot. So yeah. Andy Zwarych said, they killed Ken. The show's not going to be the same. I'm done with the show, right? So hashtag Ken deserved better. So I like that one. I thought that was funny. And Jon Lochert said, this felt fresh. Glad Gimple is gone. But he isn't. he's written, he's written episode 5, dude. So yeah, man. Did he write any other episodes from this one? No. Just that one. So there you go. So yeah, man. Ross Watson said, the show is so damn boring now. That was a lame-ass season premiere. 3 out of 4 of the episode was looting a museum for a horse and buggy. I hate to be so negative about The Walking Dead, because I've loved the show since day one, and I always will, but I don't really look forward to new episodes now. Back in its prime, I'd wake up on Sunday morning, and I was giddy with anticipation. It was on my mind all day. It's just not that anymore, which is sad. Well, I think episode 5 will be, and I think after you see episode 5, it'll certainly be on your mind, maybe for good or for bad, and that's the big question that we're going to see. At least it's something, and certainly, if nothing else, what's going to happen in that episode will definitely break any kind of monotony or normalcy you think that The Walking Dead will likely have. That is, if we don't see any other major character deaths in the meantime or soon. Who knows what they're going to do with Maggie? We'll see how she's going to leave and how that makes sense if she takes baby Hershel with her, or just what happens with that. And some people have been saying that apparently she's going to be returning in season 10. I don't know if that's confirmed. I don't. So if you have a link to where that's like an official source or something, or at least a reputable source online where that's been kind of like Collider or something, who said that, because Collider was right about the Rick situation and the Maggie situation leaving too. So so that's what I've heard, but I don't know for sure if Lauren Cohan will be returning in season 10. That'd be cool if she did, but we'll have to wait and see. Can't say for sure. I don't think yet. I don't think there's enough out there to say that that's for certain. ADog00 says, you should say walkers instead of zombies. So it's been too many years, man. I mean, I review all kinds of other shows too, like Z Nation last week with its premiere, and Fear the Walking Dead. They all the different groups have names for their walkers or zombies, whatever. We don't exist or live in the Walking Dead universe, so we're outside of it. So they're zombies. It's what it is. I don't care if they try to rebrand it as like, oh, they're walkers, Walking Dead. They don't have zombies. They're walkers. It's like, no, they're zombies. Too bad. it's what it is, right? Rosie Garcia says, Rick won't die. It's just the biggest fake out ever in TV history. Man, I hope you're right for Rosie. I hope that it's a huge fake out and everybody's just not really lying, but they're selling it, and then it's not what you think it would be, and it's something else. I'm really hoping, I got my fingers crossed. Either way, it's the episode I'm most excited for because the anticipation is killing me. I want to see what's going to happen, and how people are going to respond to it afterwards. That's the big thing. Episode 5 is going to hit, but then the most interesting stuff is going to be episode 6 and 7 and 8. Like what happens after, right? What's left after? Are people still coming back? What's going to happen? It's just the anticipation is killing me to see how this whole thing is going to play out, because I'm sure it's going to be something that a lot of us Walking Dead fans that have been watching the show for 9 years will remember for the rest of our lives, as far as compared to any other drama, compared to any other series that were some of our favorites or movies or anything. This is the biggest one, man. If they kill Rick off for me after all these years of watching it, because this is my favorite TV series ever by far. It's not even close. I mean, at this point, 9 years, it's still going strong. It by leaps and bounds. It's so far ahead of any other series to me. It's like 4 seasons ahead. Another show would have to come along and be really great and continue that for a decade to even be comparable to me in terms of how much I've enjoyed The Walking Dead over the years. It'd have to be able to do that, and I don't see anything that could have a stretch run of 9 or 10 years like that would be comparable right now. The only thing that's close is for me is Game of Thrones, and I can certainly see if some people like Game of Thrones better than The Walking Dead. For sure, I get that. It's got its own thing and it's got its own huge fan base and that kind of thing. But for me personally, Walking Dead is my favorite. It's just how it is. Yeah, man. Rosita's hubby says, it's a funny username, right? Says it was a good episode, but who wants to bet the ratings for season 9 the season 9 premiere was the lowest ever? Probably, but the thing is it's so many years, man. That's the thing, and it's still going. It's been so many episodes and so many years now, where it's okay, we're getting these episodes. We'll see what episode 5 looks like, because obviously there'll be a lot of hype about that episode. But the show's been on for so long that I just feel like it's probably, no matter what they do, it's probably going to happen this season, next season. It's not going to be as popular probably ever as it was, around that peak period. It probably won't be. So it's okay. It doesn't bother me as long as AMC's okay with it and they want to keep going, and they do. Then okay, fine, it's cool. And last one will be from Payphone, who said, "It's official. The Walking Dead is now a full-on soap opera." So this episode in the premiere did feel a little bit soap opera-y, some of the dialogue and stuff like that. But that's always been the way, I think, with Angela Kang's episodes and kind of how they feel sometimes. So I kind of knew that going in. So it doesn't bother me or anything that they have some of a little bit more focus on interpersonal relationships than usual. That's just that's part of her style. In the episode where Rick tells Daryl he's his brother and that kind of stuff. But people love that too. So everyone has their own tastes. If your tastes are all at war with action like crazy, you can always watch last season. You can always watch season 8. But so many people were tired of that and wanted to see something fresh and new. I think it's a good thing that you have more of character conversations, more important dialogue like that, and more of a focus on that versus a focus on a 50 cal or stuff like that. So and that's pretty much it for today's video, guys. Stay tuned, stay posted, and mark your calendars. November 4th is the day, and let's see how this goes, man. Let's see, because I just don't know. Let's see. If you like this video, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite, and if you're new and you want to subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate it. You can do it. You can subscribe at the bottom left. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys again soon for another video. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.